What's happening? So it's your boy ChanceJolivette, aka Smooth, back with another video. So I put a poll out on the channel, man. I was like, I do how to style videos. I'm asking like which shoes y'all want me to do how to style video on and stuff like that. What I heard was somebody wanted me to talk about boxing. I'm like, I'm a big boxing fan. I love contact sports. I love MMA, boxing and stuff, so I keep up with it. So I'm like, they got Sean Porter podcast and Mike Tyson hot boxing and fight hype and stuff. That's what I was watching at the time, because Taking Them did their press conference. So I'm like, man, they got everybody else do this, but I'm like, fuck it. So I did a few reaction videos like after some big fights, like with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder and stuff like that. But we're gonna talk about a few fights, about fights that happened, fights that are coming up. And at the end, we're gonna talk about Tank Davis and them, man. You know, that's the. So if you want to fast forward, you want to just hear the Tank stuff, go to the end of the video. But we're gonna start off Devin Haney and Kamboza. So they fight is gonna be happening pretty soon. What do I think is gonna happen in that fight? I think it's gonna be a close one, man. I think Haney has all the tools to beat Kamboza. I think he's gonna get robbed though. Because Haney, he's supremely talented. He don't have that power like Tank though, man. Like, he hasn't been getting people out of there like talking about it. And Kamboza is tough. For him to win, he's gonna have to either whitewash him or get him out of there. And if it's anywhere close, if he wins 8 rounds, I think they'll still give it to Kamboza. They fighting over there in Australia and stuff. They had issues with the visas and stuff. They didn't let Devin Haney father and them come. So it's already some shady shit going on. I think they're gonna rob Haney, man. I think they're gonna rob him. So that is my thoughts on there. I think Kamboza might be underdog as far as betting odds. I think you can win some money with Kamboza, man. I think you can bet you a little bit of money in win on Kamboza by decision. That's my thoughts. Floyd had an exhibition over the weekend and stuff, man. It was pretty entertaining. It was Floyd. He did his thing. He beat the hell out of homeboy, man. Like that uppercut and stuff at the end. I think it was a body shot, but it was nasty. He was bluesing homeboy, man. He was walking forward, just killing him. But there's sparring footage you could see from years ago, and he was whooping on homeboy. I think dude is from Louisiana, but hopefully he got a nice bag. But yeah, he got his ass whooped. I would go get my, like Floyd, yeah, he's supremely talented in boxing. He'd beat my ass. But I wouldn't be scared, like, to go get a bag. I'd let Floyd whip my ass. Like, I don't know if I'd get in there with Crawford. Like, just from a punishing aspect of brain damage. Like, but just, I let Floyd whip my ass for a big bag. But Anderson Silva, he had a match. He whipped on homeboy, man. Like, homeboy was pretty tentative. He was kind of bullying him, but you're starting to see Anderson Silva, he's starting to get that old man body. Look like he got that old man strength. But look like he's positioning himself for a Jake Paul fight in the future. I hate to say this, but I think Jake Paul would get him. Silva is probably my favorite MMA fighter of all time, but he is 48 years old, man. And I seen some openings that he did in this fight, man. Like, a lot of times, he was just dipping his head, and he was getting homeboy and doing this. I think if he does that, Jake Paul, I think he'll be winning on the cards. But Jake Paul, one thing about the white boy I give him is he got some power. And I think he's going to clip Silva, like right there, in one of those positions. And I think that's the way that Jake Paul going to get him out of there, man. Jake Paul, he gonna wait till Silva is old as dirt and stuff. And he already old as dirt. So he going to get another pretty... Not an easy victory, but I think he'll get Silva out of there if they end up fighting. Canelo and Bivol, they had their battle. You know what happened right there, man. I peeped it out. I didn't see like the whole fight, but I caught like the middle. Man, Bivol was dribbling Canelo's head. Canelo thought a lot of fights Canelo was losing recently, but Canelo, he just ended up knocking people out. Even stuff like Amir Khan. Amir Khan was winning on the cards, but then you know Amir Khan was going to get his glass jaw. He was going to get knocked out. But, what's his name? homeboy that Andre Ward beat, whatever. But he was winning on the cards. Looked like he was winning, and Canelo knocked his ass out. I think Canelo, he thought his power was gonna carry him up there. He was gonna put the pressure on him. Homeboy was gonna wilt, and he was gonna get him up out of there. But the power didn't really get Homeboy, and Homeboy, he wasn't scared. He didn't stay on his back foot. He was putting combinations together. Canelo was going like 1-2 punches at a time, and Homeboy would just shell up. He was just hitting him on the arms and stuff. And he does that a lot, like hit people on the arms, and then later on their arms and stuff would be dead, and then he'll get a good shot in. But Homeboy was able to stand there, put his combinations together. But now Canelo, it's a smart move to fight Triple G. To be honest, man, I think Triple G won that first fight. The second fight, if anything, I think that was a draw. I think this time Canelo gonna get him up out of there though, man. Triple G is 40 years old. Canelo did get him squarely. If you see highlights, and he caught him square, and Triple G just caught that like it wasn't nothing and kept fighting, and Canelo was like, oh shit. I think this time Canelo was the bigger fighter. He got his grown man weight on, grown man power, and Triple G is 40 now. I think Canelo was going to get him up out of there. That's my prediction with that fight. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. What's going to happen in that fight right there? That is one for the books. Everybody is saying Terrence Crawford. That is the consensus. I'm kind of leaning towards Errol. Errol is kind of like my favorite fighter in 147. But I watched something, and there was like rumors. You can find the video of what happened with Floyd Mayweather and Errol Spence sparred. And a lot of people were saying that Errol kind of was getting it. I think that was like around the Maidana time. So Floyd was kind of like not boxing. He was kind of trying to stay in the buckle, like wanted to replicate what it would be the Maidana fight. So Floyd didn't really fight his style, but they say like as far as that, they say Errol was kind of getting the better of him. I think with Terrence Crawford, it's gonna be a fight in the trenches. I think Terrence Crawford could pick him apart on the outside or something. It's hard to say, because man, Errol Spence, he'll pick you apart if you a boxer. If you want to slug, he'll slug with you. Like, he'll switch it up. And I don't know, man. I think he can. I think his size, I think he might can bully Terrence, man. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong on that. I'm probably doing more of my heart than my brain on that one. So I think smart money probably beat Terrence Crawford. I kind of leaning towards the upset, man, towards Errol Spence. Like Errol making it an ugly fight and just kind of bullying him on the ropes. That's probably not going to happen, but just try to... Boots looking like the truth, man. But Boots ain't really fought anybody, man. So I think he can give Errol and Terrence. I think Terrence would whip him. I think Errol would be a close fight. I think I probably would lean more towards Errol too. Just the experience. But Boots, hey, Boots is the truth. That boy's scary. But I want to see him against more competition. But the thing is, competition not going to fight him. Porter hung him up. What's homeboy name? Garcia, he's moved up in weight. Amir Khan and them is out of there. They got a lot of the old vets in 147 that's kind of gone. Like a homeboy that Errol just not beat. Like, I don't really know if he's going to want to get up in there with Boots. Like, Boots ain't really got too many people to fight. So, that's the bad thing about him is, like, how can you sharpen your sword when ain't nobody really want to fight you? Like, you can't get it in. But now let's get to the main event, man. Tank Davis and Riley Romero. What do I think gonna happen? Man, Tank about to beat the hell out of Riley Romero, man. That boy he spoke something into fruition. He got the fight that he wanted, but he about to get drum rolled. I think it's gonna be a quick one too. I think round 6. After round 6, Tank gets him out of there. I think round 1, homeboy's gonna come out there wild, and Tank is gonna just kind of sit back for a little bit, let him punch himself out, and start picking him apart. Then he gonna start talking shit to him. Gonna start talking shit about the third, fourth round. Homeboy gonna get frustrated. He gonna start wilting. Tank is gonna get him up out of there. I don't think it's gonna be as extravagant as some of his fights, because I think Homeboy gonna have some pride and stuff. I don't think he gonna super open himself up. I think he's just gonna wilt. He gonna wilt. He probably gonna like drop to a knee or something like that, and he probably gonna throw the towel in. I think that's what's gonna happen. But Riley Romero, I really had to watch the fight. I watched a lot of his highlights and something because the fight coming up, like from the first fight that was supposed to happen. So I looked at his highlights and stuff, and he wild as hell, man. Like he fight like that. Man, that's not gonna happen. You ain't about to whip Tank like that. I think somebody like Haney, because Haney got their length and their speed and stuff. I think he can give Tank problems. I think Shakur can give him. I think Shakur, out of all the young boys, he might be the best one out of all of them. Tank is my favorite, but Shakur, that's the fight that would scare me for Tank, because Shakur, he different. I think Ryan Garcia and then beat his motherfucking ass. He got some power and stuff. He nice. He fast with the hands. But I think he a hype train, man. I think a lot of the brothers, I think if he fight against any of the brothers, they whip his ass. I think Hambozo whip him. I think Tiafimo probably whip him. I think a lot of people whip Ryan Garcia or whatever. He impressive, but not that impressive. But you can go with my thoughts or not. I really want y'all to debate me in the comment section. I want y'all to be, you stupid, man. You think so and so would beat so and so. So that's my thoughts of the upcoming fights, man. Some of the stuff that didn't happen. Like, y'all debate me in the comment section, man. Let's go back and forth. If you want to talk about some UFC or anything like that, man, just pick my brain. Just call me stupid. Shit, do your thing, man. Like, comment, subscribe, go be great. And most of you, I'll let you boy. Peace.